This is my old Twitter account. It made me log in with a Twitter account, and I haven't used it in like 6 years, so that's why it still says Baker.
Gotta change it.
I had to go and click the forgot password thing and everything.
Oh. Well, thank you for making all that effort. Wow. Yay. So you work at the Oxbow. Now at the Oxbow, you work at the cheese shop there. What's the actual name of the cheese shop?
It's called the Oxbow Cheese and Wine Merchant.
Okay.
So it's a cheese shop and a wine bar and a wine retail shop all in one.
So many of those things exist other places. Does that one only exist at the Oxbow?
We have a just wine shop at the Ferry Building in San Francisco.
Okay. So explain to, and this is Elsie. Elsie, this is Ashley. I went to school with Ashley's mom. I met Elsie at a retreat in Utah for Achieve Today coach training and stuff. Explain to Oxbow to her, because you're gonna know better than me.
So it's like basically like a big market, and there's a whole bunch of vendors. Like we've got like a Hog Island oyster company, we've got a spice shop, cupcake shop, there's a distillery, like alcohol and stuff, there's olive oil shop, pretty much just a whole bunch of different like food vendors. There's a few of them are restaurants, and a few of them are just like places that sell specific things like olive oil and spices and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Is this an area that also holds like wine tastings?
We do at our bar.
Nearby, yeah.
Kind of. We do like wine flights. We don't really represent like a specific winery, but there's a lot of places in the neighborhood that do wine tastings. Like right across the street, there's one that we'll recommend people to, or down the next block.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Napa's been trying to do things like that, it seems like, my entire life. And they finally have some stuff really going. Oxbow seems to really have a nice, good hold.
Yeah, I think it's been there for,
you know what I mean?
Just pretty
6
new.
years?
Yeah. I didn't even know about it until I got the job here, because I used to live in Calistoga, so I drove down like expecting to go to like a little cheese shop that was by itself, and I showed up at the market and I was like, whoa. And it's really big too to not know about.
For Napa, it is big.
Yeah.
for San Francisco, maybe not.
Yeah.
And have you ever been to Pike Market? It's probably not as big as that, but maybe.
Yeah.
Up in Seattle? Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah. Never been there either.
Yeah. Of course, it's older too, so it might actually be smaller.
The Fair Building.
So did they? Yeah. So did you know a lot about cheese before you went there?
No, I knew pretty much nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what don't we know about cheese that we have to know?
You guys or me?
Us.
Um,
You already know it.
I don't know where to start. What do you want to know?
Okay, I'm going to start with the mold thing. Is it true that you can cut mold off cheese and still eat it?
Oh yeah, that's like
I do. I do.
When there's downtime at work, we'll just go around, take cheeses, and you just take like the back end of like a paring knife, like not the sharp side, the other side, and you just scrape it off. So we'll just go around and do that in our downtime. We'll just go around and scrape mold off cheese, rewrap it, tag it, and put it back. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll bet those cheeses actually are the better tasting cheeses, probably, huh?
Yeah, ones that have been sitting there longer, especially the harder ones. The harder ones tend to just be better the longer they sit there. The softer ones get worse. Well, they get to like a certain point, like a peak point, and then they kind of go downhill.
Ooh, like wine.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's interesting. Probably all foods, I guess.
So what's your favorite cheese?
I have a few. It kind of changes maybe like every few months, but I really like one called San Andreas. That's probably my number one. It's from Bellwether Farms in Sonoma. It's kind of like in the style of a pecorino. It's a sheep's milk. It's really good, really kind of dry and tangy and crisp. Quebec was a really good one. It's a 7 to 8 year aged cheddar from Canada. Super sharp. That one's really good too. Midnight Moon is really good. That's a super popular one. It's a goat's milk Gouda from it's from Cypress Grove up in Humboldt. They actually make it in Holland and they age it in Humboldt.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Love the name.
Yeah.
Midnight. Wait, did you say Midnight Moo or Moon?
Moon. And
I like. Yeah, there's a chocolate syrup called Midnight Moo from Trader Joe's. But yes, this sounds great. What's the most popular cheese that you sell? You mentioned
probably we have a couple. Midnight Moon, Mount Tam from Cowgirl Creamery, which is like a brie style, but it's super mild and buttery. Toma, which is like a Havarti style. That one's from Point Reyes. That one's super mild too. Cow's milk, kind of a Havarti Gouda. So those are probably the most popular.
And what is the least popular or most misunderstood cheese?
Most misunderstood cheese.
Probably any of the buffalo milk cheeses. People tend to kind of like stay away from those, but they're really good and they're not very strong. They're actually more mild probably than the sheep's milk cheeses. Yeah. Kind of a lot more like earthy and probably maybe Italian cheeses in general. People try to stay away from those unless they really know what they're looking for.
Got it.
People expect Italian and French cheeses to always be like super stinky and.
Oh yeah, like the stinkiest cheeses are usually really good, aren't they? Or
yeah, aren't they good?
Our stinkiest one is called Munster, and it's like when you open up this cheese, everyone in the entire market can smell it. It's pretty bad. It smells really bad. And I'm not a huge fan of the cheese just because I don't like the texture of it, but it tastes really good. It doesn't taste as stinky as it smells.
Okay.
Is Munster, is it crumbly?
No, it's a soft.
A crumbly one?
It's soft.
It's a what?
It's soft, but it has almost like a spongy texture.
Oh.
Yeah. So weird.
I get it. I get it.
So, okay, there's another question that came in. If you could blindfold a friend with a cheese and feed them a cheese, which one would you choose?
Oh man. Probably one of the ones that smells really bad but tastes really sweet. So like there's one called La Marichal. It's a Swiss, like an Alpine style. It smells super stinky, but it tastes like apples to me, at least. I have kind of a weird, like, way of explaining how things taste, but to me, it tastes like apples, like green apples. It's really good. So that'd be a good one because I wouldn't expect it to taste good.
Cool. So
I have to go down and have her pick me out
Yeah.
some cheeses.
Yeah. So, do you give samples to customers?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you do samples of popular or ones that you think people need to try so you can sell them?
Or is it just the ones you're trying to push?
Pretty much whatever they want. Like they'll come in and kind of tell us what they're looking for, and we can either give suggestions because a lot of people don't know anything about the cheese, so they'll just tell me what they like, and I'll give them cheeses based on suggestions. Or some people come in looking for specific ones and they can pick whatever they want to try.
Okay, so you don't like try to push cheeses on walker-bys?
No, sometimes we do. Sometimes if there's something we're trying to get rid of, we'll put it actually in a little bowl with toothpicks and set it out if we're trying to push something. Yeah, we try to do that at least like once a week, but we don't typically have something sitting out.
Okay. Yeah. I have another question here. What are the more popular seasonal cheeses, like your summer cheeses, your winter, your fall, your spring? Are there any? Does it change?
I haven't really noticed. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's any really more that would be more popular certain times of the year that I've noticed. I mean, we've got like some cheeses that we only get certain times a year, like a few of the there's a cellar in Vermont called Jasper Hill Cellars, and there's a few cheeses that we can only get in December and January. And when we have those, they just like fly off the shelves. They'll be gone in 24 hours. And then Cowgirl Creamery comes out with a seasonal cheese every 3 months. They come out with 4 different ones every year. So we've got a few that just come out in certain seasons.
Randy has a question down here. I'm going to have to spell it, though. It's a cheese. Do you like Mizithra?
I'm actually not familiar with that.
He's not familiar.
But I'm sure we carry something similar. We try not to carry like super popular cheeses. We try to carry things that are like we don't have Morbier, but we have one called Junatis, which is very similar. We try to carry things that are more unheard of, but that you can compare to more popular cheeses. We have Brie.
Right.
We don't have like Havarti. We have Havarti styles. We have a lot. We probably have at least like 20 different Brie style cheeses, and they sell more than actual like Brie.
And you sell chutneys and jams that go with cheeses?
Oh yeah, we have well, the stock kind of rotates, but one that we always carry is what's it called? Habanero pepper jelly. So good. We even have with it on it. Yeah.
What does that go well with?
We serve it on a sandwich with Emmental, which is like a basic Swiss cheese. Yeah.
Was that a cheese or a jelly?
That's a jelly.
Oh, it's
pepper jelly.
That's a jelly. Yeah, those are really good. Cracker with cream.
Oh yeah, that's how I'd always have it.
Really
that's how I'd always heard of it. We also have a pineapple, which is pineapple jalapeno jelly, and then we have strabanero, which is strawberry habanero jelly.
Will you send some to me?
Randy says he likes that cheese on with browned butter on spaghetti. And he's surprised, I guess, because you hadn't heard of it.
I'll have to look it up.
Maybe if I could pronounce it.
I'll look it up and see if maybe we have something similar.
Mizithra. If he's having I don't even know how he's eating it. If it's with brown butter on spaghetti, maybe it's crumbled powder. I don't know.
Wait, Randy, can you send us the recipe?
Oh yeah,
email it to me.
That's it.
I'll post it.
That's it. Has anybody ever showed up at the shop and asked for Velveeta?
No.
I'm sorry.
So we do have people coming in all the time, and they'll just say, "Do you have goat cheese?" And that's probably one of the most annoying questions to us because people just assume that goat cheese is like one cheese. Or they'll come in and say, "Do you have cheddar?" Like it's a style. Like cheddar's a style of cheese, and Gouda's a style. It's not just one cheese. And then do you have goat cheese? Probably a majority of the cheeses we have in our store are goat cheese.
Wow. So you do. Are all the goat cheeses the same sort of
not at all.
consistency, or do you have hard and soft?
All different consistencies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and the exclusive would obviously be those holiday cheeses, right?
The what?
Your exclusive, or do you have any other exclusive cheeses besides the ones that you get
Sounds Greek.
just during like Christmas?
What do you mean exclusive?
Yeah, I guess every cheese would be exclusive if you're in a specialty shop. It's kind of a crazy question. Every cheese is exclusive.
Oh,
really?
Ones that they don't sell.
Except
the star cheese of the month.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We usually we have like a board up on the back wall. It's actually a sliding door that goes back to our like staff room. It's a big chalkboard, and we kind of like showcase or like spotlight certain cheeses every month.
Cool.
Yeah, those ones tend to be really popular because people kind of read it like a menu, and they'll be like, "Where's this one? Where's this one?"
And so, are you still working
Yeah,
at
I'm
the
working
spice
there
shop?
just Tuesday mornings for the next 6 weeks. Yeah.
Just Tuesday mornings?
You know my favorite? Oh.
And is it
What?
very... Go.
My favorite thing to do at spice shops, you're going to see this girl walk in occasionally, I'm sure. It's the girl that opens every spice and just smells them. That's like my favorite thing to do.
And I've only been there one day by myself so far, and I've already had that.
See, I'm too shy to do it, I think. I've done it with one, and then it's like, geez, Angela, they don't want your nose in every
Oh, God, it's so much fun. I bought a spice just to smell it. I don't ever use it. I still have it. It's a chili. For chili, it's called Chili 3000, and it's amazing.
I would do that like
it's so old.
Just as
what?
Wow.
I would probably do that with
What
the Chipotle honey rub. It smells so good.
Oh,
the Chipotle honey rub.
yum.
That's That's why I got my first essential oil, but that's probably not that unusual.
At the spice shop?
Oh. No, for the smell.
Oh, I thought you said that's where. We don't have essential oils. No.
Do you have essential oils there?
I'm sure there is somewhere in the market that does.
So,
I'll bet there is, actually.
What is the expiration of spices? Does it vary? Did they tell you?
Yeah, I think it does vary. We haven't gone over that a lot. One of the main things that we went over is just when we sell a spice, to tell the customer to make sure that they transfer it from the little bag we put it in into an airtight jar, and that'll make it last a lot longer. We never really went over specifics of how long they last. We recommend using them, buying a small enough amount, like buying the amount that you're going to use for what you're planning on using it for, not having it left over.
Okay. And now going back to cheeses,
right.
I'd love to know, if I buy cheese from your store, how should I store it?
We recommend actually storing it in, it's like a paper. It's kind of waxy on one side and paper on the other side, and just loosely wrapping it and setting it down, not taping it or anything, because the cheese likes to breathe. Or we also have a cheese paper that we sell, and it's like a plastic that has a lot of little holes in it. It's actually not good for cheese to be wrapped up in saran wrap all the time, like how we sell it. The only reason we do that is because it's sanitary, so people, when they're picking it up, aren't touching the cheese. But it's actually, a lot of times, if people aren't just buying like the piece that they picked up, if they actually want us to cut them a piece, we always wrap it in that brown paper because it's so much better for it. And people can like request pieces of the paper when they buy it too. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys sell the jars?
At the spice shop? Yeah.
Jars?
Yeah. Yeah, we sell most of the spices are also available in little jars. They're just like little. They're like little 4-ounce jars. We don't sell like big jars.
Right.
I like lavender.
They have lavender.
I just thought I'd say that. What?
Do you guys make?
We have lavender sugar at the spice shop. That's probably my favorite spice.
Oh, yum.
Even though it's not.
What about lavender cheese? Wouldn't that be good?
We have a cheddar. It's from Beehive Cheese Company. It's a super mild cheddar, and it's rubbed in espresso and lavender.
Oh, nice.
That one's really good. It's called Barely Buzz.
You guys don't. Wow. You don't do mail order, huh?
No, not on cheese. Just on wine.
Sure. No.
But if you look at Beehive Cheese Company, you can order directly from them.
Cool. I'll write that down.
Ooh, there you go.
Cheese Company.
Beehive Cheese Company. Now, so you've got a.
Yeah, it was actually really cool because that was my idea. I was looking at we have a little map up in the cheese shop called the Sonoma Marin Cheese Trail, and it's probably like 50 different dairies, I guess, creameries around the area. And I was standing there talking to the owner of the shop. He comes in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I was like, it would be so cool if we all had a day off and we could do this together. And we talked about it for a little while. And about a month later, he sent out an email saying we're all going to close down the shop for a day and take a limo and go on a cheese field trip. So that was really cool. We went to three dairies. We went to one that we didn't even mean to go to. We just ended up stopping. We went to Marin French Cheese Company. That one's, I think we were in Petaluma at that point, maybe right before Petaluma. We went to Point Reyes Farmstead, which is where we get 3 of probably our most popular cheeses. That's where the Toma comes from. And then we went to one called Acadina, which we don't get cheese from them anymore, but we used to get a few different goat cheeses. But yeah, it was really fun. And then we went to a brewery on the way back and had beer and pizza. It was like a whole day thing.
How fun.
It was like...
All right.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was probably one of the best days of my life.
So,
yay! Any cheeses in there?
No, the only one we have is called Sky Hill. It's Sky Hill Farms. They make a goat chev, and they actually moved out of Napa last year, but that was the only creamery that was in Napa. Yeah. The closest ones we have are Petaluma. We have one from Santa Rosa, but I think Petaluma is closer when it comes to Napa.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cheese myths. Are there any cheese myths to bust that we can think of? We know the moon is not made of cheese.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that came from.
It's not the best thing to put in a mouse trap.
Okay, there's one.
Butter.
Some people catch fish with cheese. I think that's true.
I've never heard of that. Well, I actually have heard of little
Limburger.
Yeah. Little thingies.
Limburger.
Little round.
Is it Limburger?
The goldfish crackers.
Made with real cheese.
Probably one of the most
made with real cheese.
What?
Oh, is Limburger still around? Is that even a real thing?
That's actually comparable to Munster, which is what I was talking about earlier, that super stinky one. So if people come in looking for Munster, we give them Munster. Probably a cheese myth that we have to bust the most in the shop is people thinking that Humboldt Fog is a blue cheese. Everyone always is like, do you have Humboldt Fog blue? Or they'll pick it up and say, is this a blue cheese? You guys do you know what Humboldt Fog is?
I think I've heard the name. It's kind of funny. I could see why they would think it was a blue cheese, and I don't even know why, but yeah.
I'm going to try to pull up a picture really quick. Okay, so that's Humboldt. It does.
It looks like a piece of cake.
But it's actually made with vegetable ash in the middle. So when they first started making the cheese back in the day, whenever they started making it, they would milk the goats in the morning, and they would lay the milk out in the sheet, and then they put a layer of vegetable ash over the milk to keep it fresh until they could milk the goats again in the evening. And then they put the next layer of milk. And now it's just tradition, but that's where the vegetable ash came from. And everyone always thinks it's a line of blue. Yeah.
Right. That's interesting. That's
Yeah,
really,
that
now
is
I
a
think I
horrible
have seen
story.
it. I think I know what you're talking about.
So, can people ask for the cheese to be grated ever?
We don't have a grater. We can slice it for them, but we don't grade cheese.
I can't stand grating. It's so.
Oh, wow.
It's just one of those tasks.
Yeah.
Not my favorite. Do you supply recipes or anything at the shop when people come in?
No, I mean, we don't have anything on paper, but we can recommend them. I mean, if people want to ask how to use it or, cheese recipe, then we always have recommendations that kind of go-to recommendations.
And pairings and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like
wine
wine, yeah.
all the time. People always come in asking for a cheese that goes with a certain wine, and it's pretty good.
So, if you have time, after Angela's question, I wanted to know if you had any suggestions for the more popular wines. If you know.
I'm not a huge wine person. I mean, I love wine. I don't know a lot about it.
You haven't picked up any.
Yeah, I spend so much time in the cheese section. I get over to the wine section whenever I can and try to learn about it. I've taken one wine class. It was more kind of basic about wine as opposed to like about specific ones. But some of our most popular sellers are like the textbook Chardonnay, the textbook Merlot. Those tend to be really popular. Bar de Sono, Sauv Blanc. We do house wines too. We have a house Sauv Blanc and a house Cab that we make at the Ferry Building in San Francisco. So pretty good. What else? We have a cab called Inherit the Sheep. It's pretty expensive, but that is probably the best cab in the entire store. It's $76 a bottle, but it's like well worth it.
Do you get a discount?
Yeah, we get
Wow.
on cheese we get 40% off. On wine we pay 5% above the buying price. So it's different. Some wines we get 80% off, some wines we get 40% off. Yeah. Just 5%.
I know where my next job is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the best job ever. I get to like drink wine and eat cheese at work, and like I have to. Like sometimes, like my boss.
Have to.
Yeah, sometimes my boss will come up to me with like a little glass of wine, and he'll be like, "I need a cheese paired with this," and I'll just have to walk around the store eating cheese with the wine.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Have the experience.
Very cool.
Sorry, Angela, and I know you wanted to say something.
Oh, no problem. I was just gonna ask if they ever had special events with other places. I know, like, Copperfield Books does some with Whole Foods. Do you ever have things where, author readings or a
kind
winery
of,
that
not
comes
very
to
often,
the
not
cheese shop to
wineries,
do
but we did
something,
have a book signing at the shop about maybe a month, 2 months ago. I actually bought the book. I have it right over there. It's called The Winemaker. And the guy sat there like we have like a really long table. We have our bar and we have the cheese counter. And then across the aisle, we have like a long table that's just reserved for our customers. So we had a book signing up there, and then we sold the book at the shop. We do a lot of kind of whole market events. Like the last weekend was the Truffle Festival. So every place in the market had a dish that featured truffles. We did a truffle cheese board. Hog Island did like truffle oysters. Three Twins, which is an ice cream shop right across the way from us. They did sweet cream ice cream with black truffles grated over the top. So those are always really fun, events like that.
Darn! I wish I'd been there. I went to something, and then the only thing they had that was truffle
Yeah,
was just
it was
truffle
really
oil.
cool. And that was
sounds like
mostly
that was a much better
Monday.
bet.
The Monday after the Truffle Festival is when it's like the truffle, we call it the Truffle Market. Yeah, so
Have you ever?
no,
have
we
you ever
haven't.
done anything for the Mustard
I
Festival?
don't think I heard it. I think I've heard of it.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
If they still do it, I think they still
I've
do
definitely
the
heard of it. I don't think I've ever
It should
done
be
anything
pretty soon,
for it.
actually.
We've never done anything for it.
Right.
Should be coming up in
It's
the
interesting.
summer, right?
They ought to. Elsie's gone away. Well, yeah. Oh, it should be because it's when they're in the vineyards. So like March, February, March, April, somewhere in there. Yeah. So what are you gonna? So do you look towards the future?
I would like to.
Are you gonna continue in your life in cheese?
I'd like to like work up to maybe being a manager there someday. I'm actually starting. We have a lady. I don't know if.
She's got a picture of cheese.
Munster through year is like a Munster through year mix. I have a book. Sorry.
But we have a lady that comes in. I don't know if anyone's heard of her, but her name's Janet Fletcher, and she does a cheese blog. She gets all of her cheeses from us, and she does she calls it Janet Fletcher's World Cheese Tour. So she does a class every month between March through, I think, October. March through November. One Monday night every month, and so I signed up for those classes. She does kind of like a bulk price, and she gives us a discount on it since we sell all her cheese. So, yeah, it's really cool. It's like $60 per class, but if you do all 8 classes, it's $450. So not too bad for all of them. Yeah.
8 yeah, that's pretty good. I think I paid more for the classes I took at Silverado Cooking
5:30 to 7:30 one Monday
and it was
night. We have the little flyer for it at the shop. But yeah, I'm going to be signing up for that. So yeah, I'd love to stay in cheese. Yeah. Can't think of anything else that I'd want to do.
So is cheese bad for you?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, I eat pretty much only cheese. I mean, I've definitely gained at least 10 pounds in the last 2 years. But, I mean, I'm pretty healthy, and I've eaten pretty much nothing but cheese for the last 2 years. Like, I eat it at work. I eat it for lunch. I take it home. I eat it for dinner. Like, that's mostly what. No, never. There's just so many different like options. Like I could eat we have one day we were really slow and I counted every cheese in the shop. We have like 252 cheeses, and that was like that day. So that's like average. So I mean, you could eat a cheese a day for almost a year.
Oh, I have almost a year. I was going to ask that too because I do those Blue Apron recipes or the plated recipes, and they'll always have a cheese I've never heard of. And it's like, okay, if I wanted to redo this and get this cheese, would I ever be able to find it? So if I did find a really rarish or what seemed rarish to me cheese, what's the likelihood I'm going to be able to find it the next time at your shop?
Yeah, most cheeses we do, a majority of them have all the time year round. I've never really thought about that. I'd say maybe 20% of the cheeses are rotated. We'll get some in, we'll keep them in for a couple months, or we'll just try it out. It won't sell really good, so we won't get it back in. But if you can't find one that you like, the exact one, we can always find something that'll work. Always.
I was just thinking that if we asked
exactly.
you and
People
say,
do that all the time, and a lot of times, there's like thousands of cheeses out there, so we won't always know. Like, I'm not familiar, obviously with that Mizithra one. I wasn't familiar with it. Like, I don't know every cheese, so we'll just go on and we'll look it up, and we'll see what its flavor is, what its texture is, and we can easily recommend one that is similar, and we can have you try it to see if it's similar.
Right. Although sometimes, at least by then I should have made the recipe once. On the first time in the recipe, some of them really surprise me, particularly if they're very. We
have some really liquidy cheeses.
This is a cheese. Don't you mean?
Yeah, we have some. We won't even cut into the wheel because it's so liquidy. Like, we'll just sell the entire round of it. Yeah.
Now, how do you store that kind of cheese at home?
Just wrapped up in the paper. Like, we don't keep them wrapped in the paper. We have two different types of paper that we wrap them in to display them. We have just regular saran wrap, and then we have a plastic with really little tiny holes, and it's like pretty expensive. But we only wrap cheeses in that either one don't sell really fast, or two are like super liquidy. We wrap them in that. But I mean, if it's super liquidy, it's going to have like a rind around it to keep the liquid in. It's not just going to be like, a blob of liquid in a paper,
Running.
Well, when it came from Blue Apron, I don't know if you got that particular recipe, Elsie, and I don't remember what it was, but it came in a jar, and you literally poured it out. And so it looked like it was cheese, but it was aioli.
You remember what it was called?
I can look it up and tell you.
Can you share the recipe?
Because I still have the recipe in the kitchen.
Can you share the recipe too?
It was sure, it was in the vegetarian side. Yeah, it was on the vegetarian side, and it was a salad, and it was like the dressing on it. You mix the cheese with a few other things. But yeah, so I made it for me and Art, and Art's like, "What is this?"
This sounds really good. We have aioli at the store, and it's like amazing.
He liked it.
What about cheese for lactose intolerant people? Is there?
Most lactose intolerant people can have goat cheese. I mean, usually people will know if they can have, because people that are lactose intolerant will drink goat's milk sometimes, or sheep's milk. So usually people will know if they can, depending on the sensitivity. Right now, we don't have any cheeses. Since I've been there, we haven't had any cheeses that are like milk-free, but I've heard in the past we've had a coconut milk Gouda before, but I haven't seen that or tried it.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely want to come visit.
Generally, more aged cheeses for people that are lactose intolerant too, like an aged goat's milk or an aged sheep's milk are going to be the safest.
Organic cheeses, is that?
We have a few that are organic. Olive Cowgirl Creamery is organic. I think those are the only ones we have that are certified organic. I know all the ones from Acadina, all the ones from Point Reyes Farmstead are technically organic, but they just can't use the term because they haven't been certified. So there was a word they used. It's like natural and additive free or something like that. But, yeah. We generally don't get a lot of like that question, surprisingly.
Right.
I think we would in this area.
Right.
It's a specialty shop. I mean, I'm sure that it's cheese.
Kind of.
We're blinded by quality.
We probably just assume.
Fun. Any other questions? Over here.
The bench that you said was exclusive.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of enjoy doing that.
You ever had to kick somebody off it?
I think I'm the only one that does too. Like, people will be sitting at the table, and usually we don't mind if it's like early in the morning. Like, I open Monday mornings and it's just super dead, so we don't really mind if people come and sit there and eat their breakfast. But like, if the bar's busy and someone's sitting at our table and we need it kind of for overflow from the bar, everyone's kind of like, oh no, like there's people sitting there, we're gonna have to move, and I'm just like, I volunteer.
I just didn't know you
Yeah,
had
it's
a
really
table,
cool.
so
It's
I'm
actually
pretty sure
made.
it's
It was
probably
made
set
for
up.
us too. They made it like the bottom is like metal. It says Oxbow Cheese and Wine Merchant. It's on wheels, and the top of the table is a part of our old bar from before they redid the bar. It's really nice. I sit there. It's like a staff lunch table too. Like every single staff member goes
Very
and sits
cool.
there on their lunch, and we'll like wait for our spot to clear out on the table before we go on lunch. And then as soon as someone moves, I'll take my drink and I'll go set it on the table. Everyone's favorite lunch spot, and it's higher up than all the other tables.
Establishing intent.
Is there any cheese rind that you can eat?
You actually can eat all cheeses rinds except for Gouda because Gouda has a wax rind. Anything that has a wax rind, pretty much you can. Any other you can. I personally do not like rinds. Like I won't even eat a rind even if you can eat it. The only rinds that I eat are like washed rinds, so those are going to be like the stinky cheeses because there's not a lot of difference in texture between the rind and the actual cheese. But yeah, you can pretty much eat most rinds. Some of them you have to eat the rind to get the taste, like the Barely Buzz, the one with the espresso and lavender. Like all the taste is in the rind. We have one from Andante Dairy. There's one called Tome Dolce, and it's rubbed in a plum brandy. The rind on that one is amazing. You have to kind of get that with the taste. Yeah. So some of them you have to.
Okay. Cool. Are there certain nuts that go with cheese? Sorry.
No, not really. We just put almonds on our board. I wouldn't say that there's specific ones that go with specific cheeses. We have a board called a Euro Trip where it's a French, an Italian, and a Spanish cheese, and we put Marcona almonds just because they're Spanish. I wouldn't say that one goes with certain ones anymore.
Okay. Sorry, Angela.
When you buy a cheese,
yeah, I mean,
do you
mean
always
like,
get some of the rind?
do all the cheeses you buy have rind on them?
Well, no, just when you buy a cheese that has a rind, does you when you
well, it's like a wedge,
right?
right?
Take
They
away
cut them
all
as a
the
wedge.
rind?
The cheese have some rind. I mean, it depends. Like some of the cheeses are in wheels, some are in blocks. So if it's like a wheel, obviously, if you get like, so we've got one called Flagship Reserve, and it comes in a really tall like wheel, like a cylinder kind of. So we'll cut that into fourths. So if you get like a wedge from the middle, then you're gonna get rind from the outside, but not from the top or bottom. So if you get a piece of cheese from the top or bottom, you're gonna get rind on two sides.
Yeah. So you won't get as right. Makes me think of do you go to ABC Bakery?
I've never.
ABC Bakery, their lemon cake. You always want an end piece.
Is it like frosting?
All the lemony goodness is in that end piece.
Ooh.
No, it's because they like soak the juice into it, and all just in the crust part. It's just like but not a lot of people know it, so they end up throwing away end pieces, and it's like that's the best part. So I wondered if you could get a really nicely tasting rind.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. I think you get rind on
like you would
all cheeses. I've never I don't think I've ever sold a piece of cheese that had no rind. But yeah, I mean, you can always pick one that has more or less. Some people
I know rind. It's just some.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people will even ask us if we can cut the rind off before they buy it, so they don't have to pay for it. But I mean, you can't really do that because we have to pay for the weight of the rind too. So you can always pick a piece that has less. Especially Parmesan. The rind on Parmesan is heavier than the cheese itself. So we try to want to get the least rind on Parmesan. Yeah. we try to cut them fairly. We try to cut them so that only one piece, because we cut the Parmesan in triangles. So we try to make sure that only one half of the triangle is right.
Do you have any queso cheeses or fondue cheeses?
We have,
or fondue?
Gruyere is probably one of the most common fondue cheeses. Comté. We have raclette. Most Swiss cheeses, and we've got a whole Alpine style case. So Alpine, we have Swiss
Oh, yeah.
Alpine style, French Alpine style. Those are the most commonly used ones in fondue. So Comté, Gruyere, La Maréchal, like I was talking about earlier, the one that tastes like apples. Raclette, Red Witch we get in a lot, which is like a raclette style. Yeah.
Ooh.
We even have an American raclette from Vermont. It's called Reading.
What's it called?
Reading. It's spelled like reading, Reading.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cheese and hot chocolate.
Yeah. Cheese and anything.
Sounds good.
I eat cheese with anything.
Cheese and hot chocolate. That's good together? I've never heard
Oh,
of
yeah. So if you could bring 3 cheeses to a desert island, what would be yours?
Oh, man. Wow. Definitely Humboldt Fog. Oh, man. Humboldt Fog, San Andreas, and probably Hook's 10-year cheddar. Those are probably my 3.
Cool.
It's amazing. No, San Andreas is made at Bellwether Farms in Petaluma.
Did you say San Andreas was made in Florida?
Yeah.
I must have just misheard it. It didn't make any sense. I thought, but San Andreas is in California. What? Okay, so I do this thing where I judge the Petaluma Fair, the youth photography, and frequently I'm given like a brie sort of cheese, and I put it in my refrigerator, and I see it again a year later.
Oh man,
that's her, right? Janet Fletcher.
Yeah, I think so.
I have her book. How funny. My one.
Which one is it? Is it the beer and cheese?
Cool.
Cheese and wine.
Cheese and wine. Okay, yeah. She does a cheese and beer book also that we have at the shop. Yeah.
That's cool.
Cheese and wine.
Yeah, the first one's actually next month. I think March 7th is when they start. And yeah, they're in person. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool. So not just online. So yeah, pretty cool.
No, I would say with no.
But did I get the answer on do I eat it a year later?
Seriously.
Probably gonna be pretty.
I love it. That's
good
funny.
choice.
You could try.
How about if it's solid and looks like a Monterey
No,
Jack?
probably not.
My husband made a song up about Monterey Jack. It's ridiculous. Only he could do it, but it's Monterey Jack. So just imagine horns. Okay. Slide horns, trombones. It's like, why does cheese make you think of slide horns?
Oh man. Because of Swiss people, maybe.
Cheese and music, yeah. Swiss, Alpine, Germany, German music. Everything has a theme. Ricola.
Yeah, I guess. Makes me think of Ricola. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there should be a book on that. Cheese and music. Which classical music to
pair a song to each cheese?
Cheese and absolutely.
Yeah. So what kind of music do you play at the cheese shop?
We actually don't
inspire
music. Hog Island, which is the oyster bar right across the alley from us, they have the rights to play music. So we had to sign an agreement saying we wouldn't play music because they play the music for our half of the market. And then there's another place that gets to play music at the other half of the market. So they usually play.
You can hear it, though.
Yeah, we can hear it. And and it's usually like a good variety. They play a lot of like older stuff, which is nice. They don't play a lot of. They play like really family friendly stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not at all.
The market's all open air in there. There's not a lot.
I mean, you can see down to the other end.
You can't see
from each aisle. Like there's a middle aisle kind of. There's like the market's like a big circle. So it's like there's stuff down the middle and there's stuff all around the outside. So I can see down to the end on like my side, or if you go to Hog Island, you can see down to the end on their side. Yeah. It's definitely big enough that we can play music at separate ends and you can hear it and not hear it. Yeah, that would be bad.
And do that.
The lady from Hog Island, because we have TVs at our bar. We have two TVs at the shop. One's kind of more at the bar, one's more at the tea shop, and we'll play sports games. And we have to keep them like no volume whatsoever. Sometimes the volume will like get accidentally turned up on the remotes, and the manager from Hog Island will come over and be like, "I can hear the basketball shoes squeaking on the floor." Like, it's weird. That's like what you can hear when our volume gets turned up, is you can just hear the basketball shoes squeaking during the basketball game. And she'll come over and she'll be like, "I hear your TVs."
Cool. Do you sell cheese journals?
Yes, I actually have one in my purse somewhere. But yeah, we have cheese journals.
Oh, so you keep one.
Let me see if I have it.
What's a cheese journal?
I haven't actually. I mean, I have one. I don't write much in it. I don't know where it is. But it basically, you can just write down like what animal it is, the texture, flavor, profile, stuff like that. And every page is the same. You just fill it in with a different cheese. Yeah, kind of. Keep track.
So it's like bird watching for cheese?
Yeah. You can print pictures.
I think we do have wine log.
I
actually have a wine log.
They should do that for wines, too. They probably do.
Wine flight.
I should.
So,
Elsie, what's your favorite
the most
cheese?
Unique, whatever. Like, I don't have a favorite, but I constantly go to the supermarket, Trader Joe's, looking for the craziest cheese I can find, and I can't seem to ever. I don't think I found it yet. That's it. I love the idea of the theme. I love cheese boards because you get a mixture and you get to try different experiences.
Yeah.
Growing up, I always loved the baked brie that you'd get at the store, and it's already prepared, and all you do is throw it in and bake it. Those are fun, and I think they're the more. I think the softer cheeses are supposed to be the more fattening. The harder cheeses are better for you or something. Well, I think they're all better for you. That's just me.
The softer cheeses do tend to have more fat content, like fresher cheeses. Yeah, that's right. What was I going to say? Have you guys tried burrata before? Burrata is it's like a mozzarella, and they cream it on the inside. So we serve it at the bar.
I don't think I have. I don't think.
You put it in a bowl, and you just kind of cut it open, and it like runs out. You put salt and pepper, olive oil on it. It's amazing.
I want
that. Smoked burrata right now. It's like a special right now. It's so good. But yeah, we do.
So you have a So you have a cheese bar.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, we have it's kind of the shop's
good.
kind of set up like a rectangle. How do I do that? Like that. So like one half of the
Okay.
bar, and then the cheese bar is on the other side. So it's kind of like the bar's over here, the cheese counter's right around here. So it's kind of like
I need to find a cheese bar.
yeah. And then so we do cheese boards, and we serve them at the bar. So we've got like a local board. It comes with 3 local cheeses, a cow, a sheep, and a goat. That one actually comes with San Andreas, Humboldt Fog, and Toma, the ones that I've talked about. We have a cowgirl board, which comes with 3 cowgirl cheeses. Comes with the Mount Tam, whatever is seasonal, and then Wagon Wheel, which is their Havarti style. We have a reserve board, which is 3 like harder aged cheeses, all cow's milk, and then we have the Euro Trip, which is any French, Italian, and Spanish cheese. And then they all come with bread, fruit, nuts, honey, dried fruit.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah. Can people bring in their own wine?
They can, but we charge a $20 corkage fee to bring in your own bottle. Otherwise, you can just buy your bottle.
You guys have.
Yeah. We have a huge wine shop. We have probably like over 500 different wines. Yeah. We sell Castelvetrano olives, and then we have an Italian olive.
How about olives? Do you guys have olives?
Yeah, I'm not a huge olive
I'm not
person.
really good at
We do
doing
put
that at
olives on the
all, but I
cheese
know a
boards.
friend that
You
was
can add
really good at
charcuterie to
fixing
any of the
olives and
cheese
cheeses
boards. It adds
and crackers and stuff.
prosciutto,
Yeah, me
soppressata,
neither.
olives, and cornichons. So if you order a board with charcuterie, then you get olives on it. Yeah, I work from 1 to 9:30.
Right. Are you
You
working
should.
later today?
You should. I'll be there from 1 to 9:30.
You know what? I might actually come by. I have people coming by, I think,
Ooh,
tonight.
good shift. Yeah,
um, and Elsie, yeah,
true.
it's just a reason
One
why
of
you
my favorite
have to come up
things
to the Napa
I
Valley and
only got
visit
to
me.
do once
Go to
was
their
we have
cheese
a
shop.
train. We take it from Los Angeles and we go
Sure.
up that way, and it's a wine tasting walk. You just walk from place to place, and oh my gosh, it's so just wonderful. Day out with the girls kind of thing,
Oh.
and then have a really fun lunch afterwards. To soak up all the wine.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that sounds
Any other questions? We're at 9:54. Any last questions or inspirations? Do people dress up when they go to the cheese shop?
We've got, I
Inspiration.
mean, it kind of varies. Like a lot of the tourists will be dressed up really nice, and then you can totally tell the locals because they'll come in their pajamas and grab a bottle of wine.
I love that. What a perfect mix.
I was just gonna ask, does anybody
There's
ever show up
nothing.
from the model bakery with
Yeah.
their what is that?
We actually sell.
Because everybody
Yeah, we
swears
actually
on
sell
the
Model Bakery's bread. They
English
deliver it to
muffins.
us.
The
That's the
English
bread we
muffin, the
use on our
model
cheese
bakery,
boards,
they
and then
show
we
up
also
without 30
get
cheese.
like 12 baguettes that we just put out to sell. So people are always, one of my most common questions is people come in and say, "What kind of cheese goes with bread?" And I'm like, "Well, all of them." Like every cheese tastes good with bread. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how fun.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you
that's
so much. We
excellent.
really appreciate you.
Of course, that's so fun. I love talking about cheese. I could talk about it for like 5 hours.
Thank you. Yay.
Well, next time we'll have to actually get the cheese,
Yay.
hang out together, and talk about what we're eating.
Yay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yay. Cool.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah, and if
awesome.
you think of
Yeah.
anybody else that
Yeah,
that
maybe you
wants to,
could come back
would
and
like
talk
to come on and do
spices,
something
more
like
Yeah.
that,
spices.
I'll
always let
learn
us
more about
know.
spices and then I'll come back and talk to them. Or maybe I can come back on after I do my cheese classes and share what I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And every class
that'd
is
be great.
different. Like one class will be Spanish cheeses and one will be French, and like
Oh,
every class is
absolutely.
different.
And
So it'd be
talk about
cool to
that
kind of share
experience. Absolutely.
after those.
Oh gosh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At the
They
spice
have
shop,
a
do
lot
they
of them
sell
are
all of
both.
them in
Like
like
they've
a
got like
powdered
cumin
form, or do they
seeds
actually
and then
have
they've
some of
got
them
them
that are like
powdered.
the
And they've got like
I don't
chili,
remember.
actual
I've been in there.
beans or whatever they call them, peppers, and then powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Well, yay. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. Thank you again so much, Ashley.
Yay!
Nice to meet
I'll
you.
have this up. Yeah, you too. And I'll post this on YouTube with some information. Probably not your store in case people want to go find you. I'll keep that kind of hidden. All righty, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
And you'll see it pop up all over the place. Love you both. Bye. Bye.